All right. So just show of hands or chuck in the chat box, who has got their playbook with them? Doesn't really matter which one you're working on, as long as you've got one. I know, Taylor, you might still be on the protein. That's okay.
I've got all of them here anyway, so I'm kind of going through each of them all at the one time.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, we've got Ames on here. She is multitasking. Love it. Hey, Becca. Awesome. Alrighty, guys. So thanks for jumping on tonight. Now, let me just let you guys know we have, what is it, like 19 days left, maybe, around about, yeah? Right, cool. So it's 2 and a bit weeks anyway, and we're going to finish off this week with the Eat Your Greens, and then next week, this Sunday, you guys will receive your next playbook, which will take you guys till the end of our 8-week program. So I really want to finish quite strong on this particular playbook because, like I said last week, it's really about amping up our immune system and making sure that we're getting enough fibrous foods within our diet to help with the digestion. So all the work we're doing with the foods that we are, planning out to have in our day is getting moved through our body and our digestive system with ease, okay? So I just want to maybe chuck in the chat box if you can, and if you're watching this on replay, something to think about. So for anyone who has maybe tried to increase their greens and their micronutrients this past week, how has your fullness level been? So just maybe something to think about. Chuck in the chat box. Is it something that you have noticed? Have you noticed yourself getting more full, having more nutrient-dense foods? Eyes are bigger than stomach, yes. I felt more full overall. Awesome, that's fantastic. Cool. So yes, when I do, but I've fallen down a bit doing night shift. Yeah, and that will change on shift work for you, Ames, and it's just going to be like adapting, but also accepting that, it's okay. Like this is a new sort of switch for you, and you've done it before while on night shift. So that's it's good though that you're aware of it. Yeah. So the reason that this can be is because we're including more vegetables or fruits, within our diet. Eat Your Greens means that we're probably getting more fiber in our diet. So fiber and protein are probably your 2 most filling macronutrients. So fiber, it can fall under a macronutrient as well. And that is what basically adds, roughage to our digestive tract, okay? So it helps us to take the micronutrients from the food and helps us to feel full throughout that time. So it's good that you guys have maybe noticed that you're feeling a bit more full, and if your eyes are bigger than your stomach, yeah, because how easy is it to make a massive bowl of salad or, veggies, and by the time we sort of get through it, we're actually able to feel full, as opposed to those really high GI foods or takeaways or white breads or things like that, which don't necessarily hold a lot of fiber. So this is good, guys. I'm glad that some of you have noticed that little difference. So apart from that, I'm going to open up the mic, and I'm going to start with, in the top corner, which is Steph. And I just want you to let me know what's one thing that you've learned this week, and what is one roadblock that you have. Now, as you guys are talking, I'm going to be taking notes. So it's going to go Steph, then Taylor, Becca, Nat, and then Ames. All righty. So open up there. Take it away, Steph.
I'll start with my roadblock because that will lead into what I've learned.
Cool.
I hate vegetables. Mm-mm. I'm definitely more fruit and salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because I'm not big on vegetables, when I have been cooking them, I make like probably enough to feed a small orphanage. And I just look at it and go, oh my God, I could have probably only had a cup of that rather than all of it. Because you look at beans and even like little broccoli flowerets and everything, and you're like, that's not going to fill me up. And then like 5 mouthfuls later and you're like, oh, I'm done. So
Yeah.
I like that you definitely don't underestimate it.
Yeah, awesome. So you don't like vegetables, you're more of a fruit and salad, but you're actually trying vegetables, yeah?
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Try.
Awesome. I like it. So you solved your own roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Taylor, what have you learned this week, and maybe what a roadblock has been?
Well, I know I don't eat enough vegetables as it is, and I do love them though. And because I work pretty late, I'm a bit lazy and can't be bothered a lot of the time to, I guess, cook veggies or a proper meal. And lately, I've been getting lots of frozen veggies to kind of manage that. I probably shouldn't resort to frozen veggies all the time, but I guess it's a convenience thing. So just trying to get out of that habit, maybe even prepping dinners and things like that, veggies on my lunch break. I get an hour during the day and I come home and I just sit on the couch and do nothing. So that's something I could potentially do and get in the habit of just buying veggies, fresh ones. So, and it would be cheaper too.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. And that's fine. It is honestly fine to have a mixture of convenience and fresh. You know, when convenience is a packet of frozen vegetables over a hamburger, you know, it is also fine. Like, I'm completely aware that you know, you guys are working full time and it's something that it needs to fit in. So a little tip with that as well, on Sundays, and this is just something that I've just always kind of done since I can't actually remember, but I always do like a big baked tray of roast vegetables, because if I'm ever, you know, sometimes I run out of like rice cups or I don't have pasta cooked or something like that. So I'll use my sweet potato, my pumpkin as my carbohydrates for my salads. And it also means that I can have a salad during winter, but I heat up the vegetables to make it a warm salad. So to help get your vegetables in, you could even do a massive fry up, like in a big pan of, you know, capsicum. It might be zucchini, it might be bok choy, whatever it is, a massive big fry up of green vegetables. And that can be added to anything. That can be added to your eggs on toast in the morning. It can be added to, you know, your lunches as well. So maybe that could be another thing that you could have prepped, you know, on your lunch breaks or whatever. You could have it fresh one day and then have it for dinner again. But I like your mind flex, I like to call them, how you just said, you know, you're willing to come home at lunchtime and do some prep. Awesome. Good. So you've just solved your own roadblock again.
Well, I hope so.
Well done. All right, Becca.
Hello, that's better. So this week I thought I was pretty clever and tried to do it without tracking, but I've learnt that I cannot not track. I have to put it in. So I've probably gone backwards a little bit this week and a half. But yeah, it is what it is. So then that's one of the other things with the cold weather. My roadblock would be that I want more comfort type food. So I guess what you said there with the roast veggies, I probably need to do myself a bit of that and have that instead of, like, I was not wanting to have my normal salads for lunch and bits and pieces that I was having in the first few weeks. So yeah, bit more planning for me this week.
Yeah, cool. you're not alone. You are not alone there. I feel like it's just like a change of seasons, you know, so everyone's feeling the cold a little bit more. Sometimes motivation, it's not always there. That's where we have to create these habits. But, and I spoke to one of the girls about this in our reach out calls, trying like the comfort foods, guilty. Like we all want that in winter, right? So let's just look at a better alternative comfort food rather than our usual. So an example that I use is something as simple as changing the brand that we use that is going to give us more nutrients rather than just calories. So rather than getting your 99 cents or $1 pasta at the supermarket, you can go and get, say, the lentil pasta, which is also high in protein. So, or the Smart Protein pasta, which is the Vita brand, and that's high in protein as well. So then you don't necessarily have to add, as much mince, which could potentially push you over on your fats.
Yeah.
But you're still able to have, something that's hearty. Another one is, and this is what I turn to every winter, is making slow cookers. So I'll post a picture of the one that I make. It is amazing because I know how many serves I get out of it. It's delicious. It goes with potato or rice, whatever. Now, when you guys are doing slow cookers or big cook-ups, do you guys know how to track this? Yes, yes, no.
Put the whole recipe in MyFitnessPal and then the serves. That's what I've done anyway.
Amazing. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's exactly what you want to continue to do. Because it's going to be easier than trying to guess, how many grams of this. So let me just do a really quick rundown for Taylor's sake and anybody watching this on replay. When I'm doing a slow cooker, what I do is I start out by scanning in. First of all, there's like a base, right? There's a sauce base. So I scan that in. Now that says it's going to make me 4 serves. We don't want to be back here doing it in 2 days. So I always make double. So I put in 2 of those packets, right? And if it says 2 carrots, I put in 4, but I make sure that I'm building my recipe as I'm putting it into the slow cooker. Then what I can do is it says it's going to feed, however many. So I've put the bulk of the ingredients in the recipe and then I select how many serves. From there, the easiest way to get it as accurate as possible is once it's cooked, you empty the entire contents out into a bowl and weigh that. Let's say, just for argument's sake, 500 grams it comes out of. You divide that by the number of serves, which is 250. 500 is 125. Anyway, I'm not the maths teacher, and that is. She's watching me struggle through this. But you divide that by how many serves, and then that's how you know how much to put in per bowl or Tupperware container. Okay? Does that make sense, Taylor? Yeah, cool. All right, this is the easiest way. And when doing preps, and the best thing is, just like Nat and Amy have done, you can freeze these meals. You know exactly what's in them, and all you have to do then is, if you need to, add a cup of rice or add some mashed potato that you've prepped on the day. And you can have these warm, hearty meals with nutrients rather than just going up to the shop or whatever else. All righty. So it's a really good way, to prepare yourself for these cooler days. But yeah, Becca, sometimes we've got to learn our lessons the hard way, right?
I know. Yeah, I have. Don't worry. Yep.
But you're doing well. Still smashing out the sessions and looking good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well done. All righty. So we're going to jump over to Amy next. I don't know, my screen's kind of changed around, but Amy, fire away. Any roadblocks and what have you learned?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. roadblock for me is obviously night shift, and I knew that was going to happen. So I've tried to be a little bit more prepared, and even though my app thing wasn't syncing, I have actually hit my targets every day. So I knew that, I knew that protein's normally my biggest sort of fall down if I'm not prepared. So that's why I got those little chicken dipper things, and I've tried to, as soon as I wake up, like I woke up at 3:30 today, and I have a protein smoothie straight away to know that I'm sort of well on my way, because if I don't do that first thing, then it doesn't happen throughout the night. So I've done that. I've also we do cook ups every night at work, so someone different cooks, so we don't always know what's gonna be made, but I've tried to make a habit of like asking the person so that morning and going, hey, do you know what you're cooking tonight, like just so I have a rough idea. So last night it was like a big pasta bake, so I made sure that there were lots of cheese and stuff, so I made sure I didn't have too many fats and carbs sort of throughout the day before that. So I've sort of tried as much as I can to prepare, because they're the things that, I don't want to miss out on that stuff. That's nice, like all eating together throughout the night and things like that. So instead of just taking my own meal, I thought, no, I can do this, I just need to work around it a little bit.
Yes.
And I've learned that I have a lot of energy this week because I'm sleeping really well. So I've been smashing out some gym sessions, although I don't really want to talk to people. So I just put my headphones in and just get shit done. But I've been doing some more heavy weights and things. So feeling really strong.
Amazing. So good. I just want to quickly also touch on another thing that came up in one of our reach out calls is exactly what you were saying. You shouldn't have to miss out on your dinner with the work guys, So a little tip that I sort of gave is but if you actually allow for roughly 600 calories with a higher content of carbohydrates and fats available, and still really focus on hitting your protein in the meals you can control. So This is probably the easiest way to be able to enjoy dinner out, to be able to enjoy dinner at the footy club, or, a cook up from work. Thanks for bringing that up, Ames, because like a lot of people would go through that. And when you don't know what you're going to have that night, you just, I love that you're a bit sort of cheeky in asking, what are we having? That's smart. But sometimes you find yourself in that situation where it's last minute, you don't know what you're having. That would be my tip. Leave at least 600 calories with a higher portion of fats and carbohydrates, and really aim to hit your protein yourself in the meals you can track throughout the day.
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, good job. Good job. So when's your cook up?
I already did it. So mine was I don't even know, what's the day today? Is it Tuesday? Last Friday, I did like a big green chicken curry, which was so good because I put so many veggies in. So
everyone would have loved it too.
Oh, they're proper cook-ups. Like they're not just like we've had tacos, we had an Indian curry, I did a Thai curry, we had pasta bake. So someone did like toasties and other stuff, and it's good.
Oh, how good's that? That's awesome. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Alrighty, so I'm gonna jump over. We're going to tune into Natty and see what your roadblocks or what you've learned.
So my learn is probably a relearn for me. So I hit my first macros for the weekend since playing netball, since being at netball all day. So that was really good. I managed to sneak in a little treat in my macros while I was there, but then just made sure that I had lots of protein leading up to that. We ended up going out for tea, which I hadn't planned for, but same sort of thing as Ames. I just chose something off the menu that I knew sort of fitted in with what I'd already planned, which was about 600 calories worth of food. So yeah, I guess that was sort of a good learning or relearning for me. Roadblock this week is just time. I'm between two houses because my floors finally get done this week in my house. So I'm kind of moving back home, which means I'm really just prioritizing probably sleep over exercise this week, which isn't ideal, but I don't know. That's just how it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay, right? Because you guys, everyone on this call right now is currently in a deficit. So I would prefer you prioritize your nutrition over your training, because training is super easy to commit to. All you got to do is get to the session, rock up, and it's done, right? Nutrition, that's where the hard work comes in. Like, that's where it's really tough to stay consistent. So making that choice, Nat, it's perfect. It's good. And on your time thing, okay, if anyone is ever really pressed for time, let's just make this super convenient. It's not an all the time fix, but it's super convenient. You can go to any IGA, any On the Run, and you can get ready-made meals to heat up on the spot. You can choose a high protein. They're called U Foods. You can even order these online and have them, you know, as a part of your week. You know, if you are really struggling to find that time to prepare a full healthy meal with vegetables and enough protein, jump on and just do a week order and see how you go. You don't have to cook, honestly. And they actually taste okay. So they get delivered straight to your door. You can chuck it in the microwave, or if it is as simple as, you know, I just don't have time tonight, then on your way home, rather than going through McDonald's or KFC or whatever, go there, go to On the Run or Fishers. And the best thing is you can scan that entire meal straight into MyFitnessPal, because MyFitnessPal recognizes all of the barcodes. So yeah, if you are really time pressed, that was something that saved my ass a lot of times, because, you know, obviously I was getting home late and, you know, it's easier to have those meals. So maybe try that, Nat, while you're sort of in between kitchens and houses. At least as long as you've got access to a fridge, hopefully we're okay.
Yeah, so luckily I did all my cooking like on the Friday night, so I'm good until like tomorrow. But then it's snitty night Thursday night anyway, so like I would plan for that anyway. So yeah.
So you're sorted.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a cook up in the new kitchen on the weekend.
Yes, finally.
How exciting!
Yeah.
Awesome. You know what else, guys, is like all of you guys pretty much recognize your roadblocks, and this is what happened with our round one as well. We recognize our roadblocks, but you guys have your solutions straight up. Yeah? You guys know, we know now. We know what we got to do. And now it's just about, you know, the accountability, checking in, making sure it's getting done. So on that note, who here has kept up with the playbook? Oh, sorry, you're on mute, Chicky.
I said I would like to say yes.
Yeah. That's okay. That's all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually just go through today's. So today is introducing a collection of nutrients that you might not have heard of before. So has anybody briefly skimmed over it or not yet? Yeah, briefly? Okay. So these are responsible for providing plants their colours. The red of tomatoes, for example, distinctive aromas such as garlic. They occur naturally and protect plants from environmental factors such as sunlight and insects. Humans, too, can benefit from eating phytochemicals in the fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, herbs, and seeds. So from that little list that I just read out, so from fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, herbs, and seeds, can you guys please pop into the chat box 3 examples that you guys have introduced or you guys have been eating in your day-to-day meal plan or diet. So fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, or seeds. So 3 specific examples, just so you guys know where you can get these nutrients from, and we'll go through that together. Cool. Yeah. Are you making pasta, Rebecca? Because all 3 go very well. Basil, tomato, and garlic. Love it. What an awesome mix, especially wintertime. And you're going to get very different benefits from all 3 of those. That's fantastic. Good. All right, guys, come on. I want to see, what are your vegetables? What are your fruits? Bananas, thyme, garlic, beans. Yes. Awesome, Steph. Good. Doing a big cook up. Chia seeds. Yes, Taylor. Did you grab some?
I did.
Good work. How did your smoothie go this morning?
It didn't taste any different to what I'm used to. So it's just a bonus adding a bit more protein and in it.
And absolutely, that's it. That's it. Good for that good gut health. Ginger, chickpeas. Yep. Yes. Yep. Chickpeas. Yes. Garlic and banana. Awesome. Bananas, berries, and carrot every day. Good mix. I love it. Berries are fantastic as well, guys. Super high in antioxidants. So a really good thing to try and pop into, you know, at least 3 times a week. Really give your antioxidants levels a boost. Love it, guys. All right. So you guys have got a good idea on where what's included in your current diet and where you guys can get these from. So remembering that a well-balanced diet is based on whole foods with ample amounts of fruit, veg, legumes. So whole grains, herbs, seeds should provide the body with enough, like with what it needs. So super important to, when we're building out our diary, remembering we build out our diary so we know we're going to hit our targets, we know we're going to get to our goals. Bear in mind, you know, now that we have a bit of an idea on how to use MyFitnessPal, bear in mind now, nutrients, where is it coming from? So just like Gab sort of says, you know, where am I getting my protein and my greens from? This is something that we want to be conscious of when we're building out our diary. And it's going to help you not only see results, but it's going to help you feel good and enjoy it along the way. Yeah. So tomorrow's daily lesson is a reinforcement. So it's a reinforcement on actually staying accountable to following through. Now, this is the same whether, depending what playbook you're doing. So Taylor, if you're still trying to stick to the protein one, I just want you guys to, again, remember that with everything that we do, there's a little bit of discomfort or a little bit of growing pains, right? But we're not going to get to where we want to without that. So, you know, Becca thought, oh, I just won't track this week and it'll be fine. We learned maybe not. And that's okay. That's all right. We have to go through those little discomfort phases. Now, I put up a post this morning and I just said, you know, there's no sort of space between what you want and what you're willing to do to get there. So you guys have committed 8 weeks of your year, like I said, the entire year, to this program. So I really want to, you know, when we're so close to finishing this 8-week block, I'm going to open up the mics and I want you guys just again, because if you weren't able to jump on the first call, which some of you weren't, I want you guys to all open up your mics and just share what your why is. What is behind you, driving you to create these healthy habits? Let's start with Nat.
Cool. I feel like my why has probably changed a bit. It sort of started off just with injury and not being able to train as a way to get control back. But now that I can train again, it's sort of my why is just to get stronger and to really build that muscle back up again. And just to, feel stronger in my everyday. Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. Kayla?
Like my overall, I guess, aim of this entire thing is to live a better lifestyle, and not only exercising more, which I'm doing, but controlling my diet and being accountable for that as well. Because I didn't realize how much, I guess, what we eat impacts your body. And I always have been calorie focused. I never realized, okay, you should be eating more protein. Consider how much carbs you're eating, how much fats and things like that. And it's really put a lot of things into perspective. That's for sure.
Yeah, awesome. And who can relate to Taylor? Just chuck it in the chat box or yell it out. Who can relate?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Taylor. Steph, what's your why?
Mine's probably mostly a mental why. I joined 8-week challenges or challenges in the past, and I've given up halfway, or I've gone, this is too hard, I can't do it. So now this is my challenge that I'm proving to myself I can do it if I don't give up, and I'm bettering myself because I can't go back to that person that I was.
Yeah, I love that. That speaks volumes. Thank you. Becca?
Hello. I've got a couple of whys. My first one is me. I was doing nothing for myself, and I wanted to. I've always been involved in team sports, and I'm not playing sport anymore, but I wanted to be part of something and belong. And the girls that I know that were going to, you guys already, they're like, come on, it's fun, you'll love it. And that's what I was after, something like that. You go and people say hello and how are you, and that connection. And the other part of it was I listened to a podcast, Craig Harper, and he said you could choose what kind of 80-year-old you want to be. Do you want to be the 80-year-old in the wheelchair, or do you want to be the 80-year-old who's walking around looking after themselves? And I don't want to be the 80-year-old in the wheelchair. So I'm doing it now so that I can be a better 80-year-old, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. That is so good. Oh, sorry. Have we lost you, Becca?
I'm here. Do you want me to? Can you see me?
That's okay. No, that's all right. Was that, I love that one. That you can choose what kind of 80-year-old you're going to be. That one just like ticks every box in my mind. So awesome. And was there a birthday in there that's coming up that you want to celebrate?
Yes, in a couple of weeks. Oh, it's actually close to the end. The 26th of May.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've got close to the end. Yes.
So we've got 3 whys driving you.
Yes. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
More the merrier. Why not?
Why not?
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Rebecca. Good. Keep these, in the front of your minds, guys, because this is initially what you guys are getting out of it. This is what you guys are working hard for. So, Ames, what's your why?
I think a lot like the others, like I just wanted to take control of like my life and my mindset. Like I think I very easily went into I don't know, I'd sort of yo-yo all the time, and I'd try diets and I'd try challenges and all that sort of thing. And I've always sort of said, oh yeah, I look after myself, and I work out and I eat well and whatever. Never consistently, and never, obviously, now that I've learned, never giving my body what it actually needs, whether that's in regards to food or recovery, or, not just smashing myself in the gym, like actually, I guess, working smarter, not harder as well. So for me, my why is actually looking after my body, feeling in control, and then now sort of getting back to what I used to be, which like I love this, you know, feeling strong, but now I feel strong as well as like strong physically as well as strong mentally. So that's, yeah, just feeling really, yeah, in control of everything. It's a nice feeling, not just, oh yeah, it's the weekend so I can eat whatever I want and I'll get back to it Monday. Like it's just making it a lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah. How empowering is that?
Yeah. Yeah. And making it not a chore, like something that I love. Yeah.
And do you know what else, guys? Like, this is something that I often think about myself when I can't really be bothered, because like I feel like it too, okay? But ultimately my why is to have and make an impact on women and households. So all of you guys are doing that. All of you guys, like Amy, you said, you know, you're cooking better meals at home. Ryan is a part of that, you know, eventually the kids will be a part of that. And it is about creating a healthier, not only lifestyle for yourself, but community for ongoing. So awesome, guys. I really want you to all keep your whys in the front of your mind, especially with this last, you know, 2.5 weeks. Now, I still have some slots open for anybody on this call who hasn't yet but may like to. Book in a reach out call and we can go dive deeper into your individual roadblocks and how we can really have you sprinting over that finish line as opposed to dragging our little bottoms. I'm going to pop a refresh link into the group if you need to. But yeah, the main thing is, you know, the reason for this particular playbook is for you guys to realize it's not just about the calories. It's also about the nutrients. It's about how we feel, you know, on the foods that we're having, on, you know, the exercise that we're doing. Just like Nat, you know, at the moment is a bit pressed for time. There's always a way. You know, we are prioritizing sleep because now she's able to make better decisions with her nutrition, prioritizing sleep over training and prioritizing nutrition over training. We prefer that, okay? We really do. One last thing, and I just want to check in from last week. Everybody put in the chat box, how is the water going? It's winter, it's cold, it's not so much fun drinking water, but our body needs it. ... Oh, goodness. Get in there. Honesty, Steph, I like it. Not good, okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to set this challenge for even better than last week. Oh, Natty, well done. And you're busy. Hey, actually, I'm going to hand this one over to Nat. Nat, what did you do differently from last week then?
I followed your advice and I had like about, this is a liter, so I had about half for one of these when I woke up in the morning. And then because I'm on such a schedule at work with like the bells for school, I finish a litre every 2 lessons is my goal. So yeah, just setting like a time schedule so that by the time that 3:30 bell goes, I've had at least 2.5 litres throughout the day.
Love it. Yeah, so you set like little incremental goals throughout your day.
Yeah, and I take 2 full water bottles to work and they have to be finished before I finish. Yes.
Good. Who else on this call could use that kind of system?
Yeah.
Yeah, simple, yeah. Steph, is that the only water bottle you take to work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you got another one at home?
Yeah. Somewhere.
Of course we do. We all have too many water bottles, right? What I want you to do is I want you to fill up the 2 water bottles and take them to work and have one sitting. If this is your desk, have it sitting there, you know. If you have another desk that you're working from, have it sitting there. Because generally it's just like out of sight, out of mind. So let's put it in the sight, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good work, Natty. Just also, actually, on that note, do you feel having the 500 mils, you know, straight away when you wake up, does it wake you up?
Yeah, and I just like, you know, I wake up so thirsty, even if I've had like over 3 liters the day before, I still wake up thirsty, and it just, yeah, just makes you feel so much better. And you just get that in, and then, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because even like the minutest amount of dehydration, we already feel extra fatigued and extra tired and lethargic. So a really simple fix is getting in that water, and we're awake.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. And Ames, I know you're super good with water, but do you have any tips for anyone who might be struggling?
Water's always been something that I would just forget about too. I don't know, I'd have it every now and then. So I started doing what Nat's doing. So I have half a litre when I wake up as well. On the days where I exercise or go to the gym, I feel like it's easy because I just like scull water when I'm there. But when I don't, I sort of made it a game for myself to see how much I could drink in a day. And like, I don't know. And I normally now have between like 4 and 5 liters a day. But I try and sort of like that throughout sort of the, you know, work hours of the day before about 4 or 5, I make sure that there's not a time when I've gone probably 20 minutes, half an hour without having some water. So it's a consistent thing, because when I started playing the game with myself, I would like scull water before bed and then get up 3 times throughout the night to wee. And that wasn't helping because then my sleep was compromised. So I sort of went, all right, well, I've got this time of the day where I want to hit, you know, 3.5-ish litres of water. So every half an hour, I'll make sure I'm having, you know, at least sort of half of my 500 ml bottle or whatever it is. So it's just the consistency about it. And that's where sort of that having it next to you comes from. Because if it just sits away, or like if I just chuck it in my bag, it'll be 4 or 5 hours and I'll go, oh shit, and then I'm already behind. But yeah, and when I started doing that, it only took probably 2 weeks of actually consciously, like I'd set reminders on my phone that would come up every half an hour and just be like, water. And now I don't need that, and my body actually goes, all right, I need some water, I haven't had some in a while. So now it's this thing, like I have it next to me, or I always have one in the car, always have one at work, and always have one next to my bed.
Absolutely. And yeah, I love that you added that in, that it's now just second nature. Just like all of this will become, guys, all of this will become less effort to think about, less effort to implement, and it will all become second nature. Awesome, guys. All right, I'm being mindful we're about to head over, but if you do have any questions, open up your mics, fire away, and let us know, and we can solve them. It is 6, so if you do need to run, I understand. If you want to, any questions? No. All right.
No.
Awesome, girls. No worries, Taylor. Thank you. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Thanks for jumping on and joining me. And again, let's really, like I said, I am really encouraging everybody, once I finish the reach out calls this week, is just to really utilize all the resources you have. Just like maybe getting you foods is going to be utilizing their resources. Make things less complicated on ourselves. Jump in the group chat if you have any questions, or thanks, Amy, for sharing. I've never even seen them before, the high protein snacks. And everything like this. Let's really use what we've got. Let's take as much out of everything that you guys are investing into, and let's see this home.
Thanks, Ash.
Awesome. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks, girls. Bye.
Bye.